Hi everyone, I hope you're all well. It's time to rank the top 10 weapons for Season 5 in Apex Legends. This time around, I've done a lot of research, testing and play to find the weapons that really deserve a top 10 spot. Before we get into the list, it's important I clear something up. For the longest time, the biggest performance indicator for how well a weapon does in Apex was DPS, or sometimes time to kill. However, I really think this means very little in terms of ranking the top 10 weapons. Why? Well, nearly all full auto weapons have an almost identical time to kill when you consider the top 10 weapons. There are some variations on the lower end of the list, but it's so similar for the best weapons that in actual live gameplay, it's not going to matter much. Let's first take a look at DPS for an example. Let's take the R99 and Flatline. If I were to ask anybody in the community, they'd most often say the R99 is the best weapon because it has a faster DPS. Well, turns out on a 200 health target, the Flatline actually has a 0.04 second faster time to kill than the R99. This is because that higher damage per shot leans in the Flatline's favor against such a low health target. If a player had 10,000 HP, then sure, DPS would be more important. So we can use time to kill to help understand which weapons kill the fastest, but that only takes us so far. That can, for example, tell us that an R99 is better than an alternator. The R99 time to kill is 1.05 seconds, but the alternator is 1.21 seconds. That is quite a large difference, and that helps us to know the alternator just isn't worthy of a top 10 spot. However, for every other weapon, time to kill means less. It's more about the unique property of each weapon, and we'll be getting into those now and explaining each weapon on this list, starting from worst to best. So let's start with number 10, the RE45. Now, this weapon slyly gets into the top 10 spot because its time to kill is quite bad in comparison to other weapons here. The RE45 time to kill is 1.18 seconds, putting it closer to alternator territory. However, this weapon is versatile because it has a very quick aim down sight movement speed. By this I mean you can strafe fast back and forth whilst aiming down sights with the RE45. It's not as fast as the Wingman, but it is faster than the SMGs and shotguns. To me, movement is more important than hitting your shots. I'd much rather go against a player with Shroud's aim that just sits still in the open than somebody that barely hits their shots but has Ace's movement. Who can agree there? So on to number 9, we have the Hemlok. This weapon is significantly stronger than people are giving credit. The burst feature does work at close range since its damage buff back in Season 4, maybe Season 3, I can't quite remember. And when you switch it to semi-fire, you can spam this thing like crazy at incredible distances. To me, the Hemlok replaces that role the Scout took before it got nerfed. The Scout is still great by the way, but the Hemlok to me is a faster firing, more versatile alternative. Stick it 3 or 4 times on this thing and spam semi-fire shots at targets long range and you're in the money. Next we have number 8, the L-Star. I ranked this weapon very highly in Season 4 and I still think it's great, but it's unreliable. It still feels like something is up with how this weapon works, and sometimes we're left missing shots or unaware of where our shots are even hitting. The time to kill on the L-Star is a tad higher than the rest at 1.10 seconds, but that's not really much of a difference in the live game compared to say the R99's 1.05 second time to kill. What makes the L-Star special though is its bullet size. The actual size of the L-Star bullets are massive, and that means hitting headshots up close with the L-Star is surprisingly easy. Pair that with a 2x headshot damage modifier that comes with all LMGs and you have a very powerful weapon that can burst people down. To me, the L-Star is scarily dangerous when it works, but you just can't rely on it due to visibility issues. At number 7, we have the Sentinel. I've decided not to include other snipers, but the Sentinel does deserve a spot. The longbow I haven't included because even with a skull piercer, the Sentinel still does more headshot damage, and yes, the longbow has faster fire rate, but these snipers should be about hitting those heavy hitting shots, then following up with your secondary weapon to finish the kill. To me, that's always how snipers have been the most effective in Apex. They can be a great tool to knock a player low, to create a push, or to start a fight you know you can finish. If you want a weapon that can knock long range, something like the Havoc or Hemlok actually work better. especially because the longbow has such a poor bullet travel time. We'll talk more about that later. One thing that's really great with the Sentinel is that its disruptor feature only takes 2 shield cells now instead of a battery. Shield cells are everywhere, so you can guarantee you're going to be hitting 100 damage body shots with this thing, which is just such a powerful tool to start an engagement with. At number 6, we have the Flatline. This weapon has always been one of my favorites, and somehow last season I almost completely forgot about it. In its current state, the Flatline time to kill is ever so slightly better than the R99. Get a couple headshots in there though, and the time to kill easily outweighs the R99 and any other weapon. Rifle headshots are 2 times damage, but SMG headshots are just 1.5 times damage. The Flatline doesn't have the best movement speed when aiming down sights though, due to the fact that it is an assault rifle, but thankfully it has a pretty decent hipfire spread. At number 5, we have the Mastiff. Now there's a lot of controversy with this weapon. 2 different sides. One side says the Mastiff is really strong, the other side says it's weak. Truth be told, the Mastiff is always going to one-up the EVA-8. The EVA-8, if hitting all pellets on target, will knock a player after 4 shots. The Mastiff averages at 2 to 3 shots. Yes, the EVA-8 does have a faster fire rate, but with some practice you can make sure the Mastiff is 2-shotting more than 3-shotting, and that is where it comes ahead of the EVA-8, which by the way is still a pretty decent weapon. One thing that people don't realize is that the Mastiff spread is better when aiming down sight, and the iron sight optic is perfect for telling exactly where your pellets are going. So get close enough, line up your shot, and you know how to hit 100 plus damage hits easily. I'd say if you don't like the Mastiff right now, drop your optics and learn how to line up your enemies in the iron sight optics, and you'll have a much better time with it. At number 4, we have the Havoc. Now, even without the charge up time, the Havoc time to kill is basically in line with the Flatline at 1.04 seconds, just ahead of the R99 and Prowler. However, with that charge up time added, the time to kill is worse than the Alternator at 1.30 seconds. So why is it that the Havoc is so highly rated? Well, there are 2 reasons. Despite the increased recoil this season, the Havoc recoil pattern is the easiest to master. It's literally just straight up, which means once you've practiced the Havoc recoil, you can much easier hit headshots on target, which is why the Havoc always lasers people. But to me, the most important feature of the Havoc is the fast bullet travel time. It's not hit scan, but it certainly feels close to it. At longer distances, that bullet travel time makes it harder to hit shots as players move back and forth, but the Havoc is so fast that you can basically just aim at your target and bullets are going to hit. This is why the Havoc is so great at long ranges, great at knocking players on zip lines and balloons, and overall an absolute laser beam, literally. At number 3, we have the R99. Yes, the R99 is still strong. Why? Well, even with a time to kill that basically rivals the Havoc and Flatline, the R99 has a very fast reload time, you can equip digital threats, and most importantly, the movement potential on the R99 is so much better. The SMGs don't have the best movement speed whilst aiming down sights, but they're much better than assault rifles, which means you can strafe very effectively. On top of that, you can hip fire effectively with the R99, which gives you full movement speed too. Switching from and to an R99 is faster than doing the same with assault rifles, and overall, this is why SMGs are ranked so highly in Apex. It's all about the movement and speed, not the time to kill. At number 2, we have the Prowler, much for the same reasons as the R99. The Prowler ranks high because of its movement potential too. On top of this, it basically matches the R99 time to kill with an addition of 0.01 second. However, the Prowler can have a much larger magazine size and it's far more stable. Yes, you need a select fire to get the most out of the Prowler, but I feel like they are spawning more commonly in Season 5, and Loba makes that hunt for the right attachments far easier. So that leaves number 1, the Wingman. We've got the Skull Piercer back, which just makes it even more powerful for those that can hit their headshots. The Wingman is ranked number 1 for more reasons too. It has a damage per shot that rivals the longbow, yet you can ADS and still strafe back and forth with it at the same speed as if you were hip firing. The Wingman reloads super fast too, and the Wingman bullet travel time is pretty fast, which makes it a deadly weapon long range. I mean, a person strafing back and forth spamming Wingman bullets from 100 meters is far more dangerous than a longbow player doing the same, in my opinion. The Wingman is just devastating in every way, and I'd like to see any argument why this weapon should be ranked any lower. So that's my full list for the top 10 weapons in Apex Legends. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. Do you agree with this list or disagree? Leave your own opinions below. I'll see you in the comments. Cheerio. Did you know I stream almost every day from 7 PM UK time or 11 AM Pacific Standard Time? You can catch me live right here on YouTube, so make sure you have notifications turned on. I also have a new members program. Become a member for $2.99 a month, get your comments highlighted in videos, get a cool badge in live stream chat, get access to these cute emotes, and also gain access to my members tips videos, where you can ask me for any tips and I'll be making new videos weekly to help you improve your own game. Click the join button or click the link in the video description to get involved.